Hi everyone, perhaps you guys are doing good. So, today we are going to make a video about the most asked question in astrology, which is about planet Venus, which is about love. Now, when we talk about love, we usually consider this planet Venus and where it is being placed because Venus naturally indicates the feeling of love, the emotions, and every single thing. Venus shows that grand gestures which we usually see in the Bollywood movies, right? Venus governs your attraction. Basically, it also how you value your relationships. It's how you express your love towards the other person. So, what happened if Venus gets afflicted in your birth chart? If, say, Venus gets afflicted in your birth chart, so it's gonna give you issues related to all the spheres of your life. Venus is also like the natural karaka of luxury sometimes. So, if say Venus is afflicted in the birth chart, you might really suffer a little bit from those aspects also. You might really find that that sense of luxury or that sense of comfort has been missing from your life. Although it's not always 100% with Venus getting afflicted and you losing luxury. Sometimes afflicted Venus usually gives good luxury to the people. But when it comes to the matters of love, yes, there is a problem. Now, I'm about to discuss few combinations here, and these combinations are going to be very major combinations which we usually find in our birth chart कि कैसा combination हमारे horoscope में बन रहा है. So Venus usually get afflicted when it comes to sit with afflicted planets basically, or in such combinations or such placements where it doesn't feel comfortable at all. One of such combination is Venus and Saturn's combination. Now, Venus and Saturn both are considered friendly to each other, so there is no matter of concern between these two. But of course, Saturn being an afflicted planet and Venus being a beneficial planet, there is a conflict in between the both of them. Reason being is that Venus is a natural karaka of love and luxury, right? Saturn is a karaka of hard work, but Saturn is also the karaka of anxiousness, anxiety, depression, and Saturn is a very cold planet. So of course, when Venus usually sits with Saturn, it makes a person feel unworthy of deep love and emotion. So this is one of a major reason why when Venus and Saturn placed with each other, people usually have fear of losing their partners. Sometimes they usually get into relationship with such people who are not making them feel loved. Love feels like a hard work for them basically. They usually struggle to find that sense of satisfaction within the relationship when Venus and Saturn usually comes up together. In fact, I have a Venus and Saturn combination, not a combination, but usually these two planets are aspecting each other in my birth chart. And one is the Atma Karaka and the another one is the Matya Karaka. So very important signifactors for me. Usually initially in the life of mine, basically I struggled with one-sided relationships, and of course when I see my chart today, I get to know what seems to be the real issue. Now, Venus and Saturn is good for many other things, by the way. It's not always bad. As I mentioned, when Venus sits with a friendly planet, and Saturn and Venus are friends to each other, by the way, so it tends to bring a lot of luxury in their lives. It makes a person do hard work, and say apparently if this combination is placed in the house of career or in the house of wealth, or in fact even the fifth house, say for example, so these people usually brings a lot of success. This combination brings a lot of success actually. Specifically in artistic qualities, it makes people very hardworking. People who are working with the cosmetic industries, owning businesses in cosmetic industries. This is a very beautiful combination for those kind of people, by the way, right? Another combination which we come up to. So Venus, when it conjuncts with planet Ketu, it also has a lot of significance. Now, Ketu is the kind of planet which is very mysterious. Ketu is about spirituality. Ketu is about detachment. And Venus is the natural signifactor of love. So all these two planets have complete different personalities with each other. Although Venus considered as Shukracharya, and Shukracharya was the demon guru, by the way. So in some manner, Venus is the guru of Rahu and Ketu. Though when Venus conjuncts with Ketu, these qualities related to relationship, the quality of handling emotions pretty well, goes away, because Ketu is the signifactor of detachment. And say, for example, if these combination are placed in the house of relationship, or in fact even some bad houses, it's certainly gonna derail the qualities of planet Venus. Now, Venus and Ketu conjunctions usually attract karmic connections. These are the kind of connections which might really be there, longing to come into your life from the past itself, from the past life itself, basically. Right? These are very intense and magnetic connections, basically, but sometimes it end up in chaos, which is not very good. Certainly, it has a lot of problems. Past life connections are also meant to happen with these specific conjunctions. The psychological aspect of Venus and Ketu people is that this is called as a traumatic bonding. People usually gets into relationship with such people who are emotionally unavailable to them, or might not cherish their feelings or their emotions pretty well. So that is Venus and Ketu's conjunction. Although this is a very good combination and a conjunction when it comes to link of spirituality. People with Venus and Ketu, if say for example Venus and Ketu are sitting in the sign of Pisces, apparently in the 8th house, or in fact even the 12th house or the 4th house, usually these people will have the tendency to get into spirituality pretty well. They will become these real spiritual masters. Sometimes they might really also get into such states which we call as the state of bliss, the state of nirvana, right? So Venus Ketu conjunction is a very miraculous conjunction when it comes to spirituality, but then again when it comes to the matters of relationship, engagement of emotions, it's not considered very good. Now we're coming to one of the most asked combination, and one conjunction which we usually see when in a client's birth chart. Many of the astrologers usually predict that इनका character खराब है, या ये बहुत ज़्यादा लड़कियाँ घुमाएंगे या लड़के घुमाएंगी, उस तरीके की चीज़. So this combination, ladies and gentlemen, is Venus and Mars. Now, Venus and Mars is a very fiery combination. Of course, Mars is the energy, basically. Mars is the action. Mars is the logic. And when it sits with planet Venus, the emotions, the intensity of emotions suddenly rises. This make a very charismatic kind of a personality of a person. Apparently, if these combinations are placed in fiery signs, you will certainly gonna see that, to be honest. So this is a fiery combination, as I've mentioned. The people with Venus and Mars usually find themselves into rebellious lovers. They find somebody who is not a very simple person. They really want excitement in their lives, and they really want somebody who is also going to be a little bit troublesome some point of time. Yes, so that's there. But yes, of course, Venus and Mars sometimes also create unstable relationships, and these unstable relationships usually caused because when Venus and Mars conjunct with each other, and say for example if they are afflicted or sitting in an afflicted state, this native might have an ability to engage with other people in relationship very easily. So that's why Venus Mars combination is not considered very cordial sometimes, but it's not a bad combination, to be honest. As I mentioned, passionate lovers are seen through this. Passionate people towards beauty can be seen through this combination. Artists can be seen from this combination. Actors can be seen from this combination. So it all together it's a very good combination. But the psychological fact behind Venus and Mars is the dopamine addiction. People usually seek those kind of relationships which gives them that dopamine hit, right? Now we are going to get into a very divine combination, and ladies and gentlemen, if you have this combination in your birth chart, so you should feel yourself blessed. We are talking about Venus and Jupiter's combination. Now Venus and Jupiter is a very, very beautiful combination. You can expect to have love. You can attract abundance when this combination forms up in a good state, or it's not afflicted by any sort of malefic combination, sitting in either exaltation or in their own or Mool Trikona sign. So this will give that sense of deep love, basically. You will find a deep respect with your partner. You will find that there is a lot of harmony in the relationships. When you usually attracts a partner and you get into a relationship with this specific person, you will see a rise in your wealth, you will see a rise in your comfort, and you will see a rise in every aspect of your life. So it's altogether is a very beautiful combination. It makes a very meaningful and an ethical connection, basically, right? So love and devotion is the key factor of this combination specifically. But what are the challenges? Say, for example, your Venus and Jupiter get afflicted in your birth chart. Say Jupiter got debilitated, or either sitting in the 8th house of the birth chart. This combination has been forming up in 6th house of the birth chart. Venus got debilitated. So that is definitely going to create troubles. Now that can certainly give little bit of problems, specifically that a person might really want to have perfection basically within the relationship. And we all know that nobody is perfect in this world, right? Even God is not perfect sometimes. So that is one thing. They can overlook the red flags and just have that sense of blind faith within the relationship. They usually jumps into a relationship without looking into any sort of negative traits, which are pretty much visible to other people, but these people might not be able to see those things. Now they also seek guru-like partners in the relationship. They really want to worship them, right? And that is obviously not a good relationship. I mean, of course, if you have a good partner who can certainly guide you, that's really well. But say, for example, if Jupiter got debilitated or sitting in a afflicted condition, then this person might not give you a good guidance. They might really their guidance might really lead you or your life into fiasco, which is not a good thing. I mean, obviously. So the psychological fact behind this combination is that they are usually seeking saviors and spiritual connections in their lives. Although both the planets are have the guru-like abilities. Jupiter is naturally considered as guru, and Venus Shukracharya is also considered as the guru of the demons, who considered and make the Sanjeevani Vidya come true, right? Now we are coming to another beautiful combination, which is Venus and Moon's combination. So Venus and Moon combination is a very, very beautiful combination if it is not afflicted. If it is afflicted, then it's the kind of combination which can certainly create a lot of emotional fiasco in your life. Now, Venus and Moon, when they are very well placed, it tends to create deep emotions, a very sensitive and nurturing bond. It makes you feel emotionally fulfilled. It certainly can give you a lot of affection from your partner. You can expect to get all kind of affections, emotional affection, physical affection, and luxury can also be there in your life, because both the planets, if placed well, they certainly has a tendency to bring a lot of love, luxury, and all the beautiful aspects of the life. Artistic people are being seen from Moon Venus combination, by the way. That has been there. The intuition abilities of such people in the relationship is also something which is very strong. But what are the challenges? Then the challenges are, say, if the combination is afflicted, as I mentioned, so it will create a over dependent partner on you. The people usually needs to have the emotional feedback again and again, and they are seeking the emotional validation from you, time after time, which is not a good thing. If you have the sense of confidence within your relationship, you might not really ask your partner again and again that please validate the emotions, please validate the relationship. Yeah. So confusion also comes under the same domain. It confirms that the compatibility is not very good if Moon and Venus gets afflicted by any chance. Now, the another combination which we are about to talk about is the combination of Venus and Rahu. So, that's a very interesting combination. Extremely magnetic people will come into your life. People who are unusual in natures can certainly come into your life. But Venus and Rahu can certainly create a lot of obsession also. It could be very much possible that people might really get obsessed with you very, very soon. Or if if this Venus tends to indicate your personality, then you might really get obsessed with other people very, very soon. That is a thing. So But yes, Venus and Rahu, if placed very well, certainly brings a lot of luxury, a lot of comfort. People who loves to do acting can certainly get into it. People who are into creative fields can get into it with Venus and Rahu's combination. But if this combination is afflicted, then you might really want to seek love from people, but apparently you will be empty-handed within the relationship. You might not be able to find that sense of comfort within the relationship and always being betrayed by the other person. So that is something which we should have to consider. So this would be all, ladies and gentlemen, for Venus and its combinations with other planets. I have missed Sun and Mercury in it. So we'll be covering that in the next time. But this is for today. Hopefully you like the video. And if you like the video, do subscribe the channel. And wish you all the very best. And do let me know if you have any such combinations and whatever I have told you today is making some sort of sense to your life, or you have seen that working out for you. So take care, ciao, and see ya. Bye bye. Namaste to everyone.